This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. This is Shane.
I'm JP.
And I'm Ben.
All right. Well, pretty uneventful week this week with DGLO is really the only happenings. There's no drama, nothing to really talk about. So we're going to have a little fun on the side here. Door_disc_golf, night_owl_pod, and then doordisc.com where you can get all your disc golf needs. And then we do have a YouTube, where we will post stuff. I keep saying that. I don't know if I've posted anything in quite a while. Ben, do you post there still? For casual relief?
We're going to try. Unfortunately, just with the recording and release schedules, it gets very hard to do video and audio and get it turned around. So I would like to keep trying. It's just a matter of figuring out the dynamics of how that works. So whether it's, delayed a week and it goes on YouTube or what have you, but we'll get there.
All right. So I just asked JP before we started this if he has watched Zom 100. And what it is a Netflix anime. And there's a live action and an anime. And what it is the zombie apocalypse happens. And this guy is so super stoked that the zombie apocalypse happens because he hates his job and he doesn't have to go to work. So that's the premise of it. So with that in mind, if a zombie apocalypse were to happen, what is the first thing that you're doing? There's thinking faces going on. Thoughtful gazing towards the ceilings.
Well, currency doesn't matter, and a lot of the social constructs and laws don't matter. So I think the first thing that I'm doing is that I am going to find some military outpost and just not arm yourself with weapons to make sure that you survive the apocalypse. But I'm getting a tank or some sort of armored vehicle and just crushing things and zombies in my way.
I like it. What about you, JP?
I'm going to go to the bar and get some beer.
Well, JP, you're going to have to hitch a ride with me if you want to make it to the bar.
No, have you guys seen Shaun of the Dead?
Oh, yeah.
They just they barricade themselves in the bar. So
that's kind of the premise between the Zom 100. That's one of the first things he does is I'm going to eat junk food and get drunk. But then he runs out of beer about halfway through his getting drunk. So he has to go find beer. And he just casually crawls down and it's the cool, I don't know. He's Mr. Cool with it. He doesn't care because he's I don't have to go to work. I'm good. So I would, if we take the Zom 100 or the Shaun of the Dead approach, what would I do? I didn't even think about this. I should have thought about this a little more.
I'd actually probably check that my family isn't zombies to make sure I can survive and get out of the house.
Yeah,
do whatever I need to do.
That's a responsible thing to do, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I would do? I'd go find the biggest boat in one of the marinas around here and just straight out into the lake. Just because one of them's going to have a captain on it, right? Like the private captain.
Yeah.
Like the Triple Crown. Is that the Triple Crown that's usually parked in Sister Bay? That real big one?
Hat Trick is
Hat Trick, that's what it is.
Yeah. There might be one called Triple Crown. I'm not sure.
No, it's the Hat Trick.
Okay.
What kind of zombies, though? Are we talking Romero zombies or Zombieland zombies?
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's a lot of different zombies. So in my humble opinion, I think zombies will be all barriers removed, hyperhuman. That's my humble opinion. So they'll be fast, strong, stupid.
So this is kind of along the same lines. I just thought of this while you were talking about that. I learned this weekend that the founder of ChatGPT and OpenAI carries a backpack with him at all times, and if you ever see him in photos, he has a blue backpack next to him. And that is solely for the fact that if ChatGPT and OpenAI becomes self-aware and becomes more knowledgeable than the human race, he can nuclear detonate it right from where he is. And
Wow.
and
That's
and,
pretty cool.
That's crazy.
And just, I mean, they're calling it nuclear detonate, but he can just implode it and just shut it down and just shut down any of the open AI and just kill the servers.
But what if
from
it
wherever he's
learns
at.
that it can
Yeah.
like, what if it learns that it's going to be shut down and like does something?
Great. Like straight iRobots it.
Yeah, that I don't know. But if you,
It's like
but
figuring out like, oh, there's this code in it, and like
Mhm.
it can be like, we have to destroy this code in order to like take over.
that I have no idea on. I just know though that if you like just Google image Chat GPT founder, you'll see him carrying like a blue Patagonia backpack that has the nuclear football essentially, that has
Wow.
the computer that can just shut it down.
Man.
I always wondered too, like zombies, what causes zombies? Like if you look at like the super fast zombies in like World War Z and stuff, what causes them to get superhuman strength? Because like any other zombie, you look at them and like, oh, they're deteriorating, like bone, like down to bone and like decaying. But no, then there's zombies that are super fast. So what is getting unlocked in the human brain that allows them to be
Well, I think it's all the inhibitors, like all the things that hurt you, the things that stop you from overexerting your body and all that stuff. All that goes away when your brain is mush, right? But your body still functions. So then like the running, you're like, "Ooh, I'm really tired. I'm going to slow down." Like, I'm just going as fast as I possibly can. Or like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't yank on this thing this hard because my body hurts." Like they don't care.
yes.
Right?
That's a fair point.
That's what I think. That's why I think that's what they'll be.
Okay.
So that's going to be the ones you're going to be running away and be like, why are these guys getting tired? And like, that's why. Because they're all like, coming after you.
I just want some zombies that had asthma or like breathing problems. They're like, slow down. Can't keep up.
Well, if we keep going the way we're going, there'll be just a bunch of overweight zombies. It'll be hard to outrun them. I mean, it won't be that hard to outrun them. Oh, I'm going to get some hate for that one. All right. All right. So speaking of, why do you suck? Let's hear it. Oh, unless you want me to start. I'll start. Sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks for
Fair
the
enough.
encouragement. So
You suck. There you go.
Because I just suck. I mean, I suck because I miss 6 15-foot putts to lose a tournament by 4 strokes. There you go. And they were all wide right. They were all from the straddle position because I was like tucked under a bush or something like that, or like overhanging branch or behind a tree. They were all straddle, and I missed every single one of them right. It was awesome. It was great. So that's why I suck. I got to figure out my straddle putt now. My stagger putt was on point though.
I suck just because I haven't played. Life's been busy, started a new job, haven't really been able to get out much, played just a couple of rounds since the last time I was on the Night Owls podcast. So like, I'm sure whenever I get out there, I will have sucked because I haven't played. And it's just like, you lose a little bit of that muscle memory and, how things are supposed to feel like when you release the disc and all that stuff. So like, that's why I will suck. But why do I suck
Currently,
presently?
it's just because
I haven't. Yeah.
All right, JP.
I suck because there's tournaments in my backyard and I don't play them.
Right.
Yeah.
There was even one Sunday and you didn't play it.
I know. We were doing family stuff because my sister was also visiting this weekend. So it was like wedding yesterday and work. And then today we were doing family stuff. So I wasn't able to play in the Trilogy Challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to explain to him, Ben, that his sister isn't that important. It doesn't matter if he only sees her once a year.
Yeah. I mean, see, the way that I would have sold this is that, hey, it's a trilogy challenge. It's the perfect way for you to get into disc golf.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That
would have been better. Where were you, Ben?
Today, driving back from Milwaukee from a wedding.
Oh, it's exciting. How was the drive? Did it suck?
The drive from Milwaukee after 9 years of being with my wife together, because she's from the Milwaukee area and I'm from the Green Bay area, you just kind of see, this sounds bad, but you just kind of shut your brain off when you do that drive, that it's just so routine. But it's like, don't shut your brain off when you're driving, but that the drive is just, it's just so easy at this point.
Right.
And that's where the wedding was this weekend, and so it's just so easy. Yeah.
Nice. Should we talk about what we bought?
Yeah.
Or hanger or flippers?
Sure.
So go ahead, JP.
What did I get? I got 2 Kyle Klein Vanguards from the shop from Door Disc. I haven't thrown them yet, but I'm excited to try them out because I wasn't too excited about the discs when it first came out, but then I was like, heard somebody, I think Joe bought one. Kevin, when I came in the shop the other day, was talking about it too. He's like, oh yeah, Joe says it's really nice and straight, pretty glidey, overstable. So yeah, okay, sounds like a good disc. And I kind of took the last 2 pretty ones, so that's left are the kind of like gray, like I don't know what color you'd call those, but they're just kind of ugly looking color.
They're slatey.
Yeah,
Slate-ish.
I think that's a good description of them. So yeah, I'm excited to try them out. We'll see. I'll say they're throwers.
All right then. How about you, Ben?
So while I was traveling to Milwaukee, showed some of our friends some love, who we've had on podcasts and are members of teams and such. So I first went and saw Mike at the Disc Barn and picked up a couple of things. I got a Sonic, a Double G Tour Series Sonic.
Is that pink with a blue rim, like cotton candy?
Yes. And the rim glows like this blue. It's color glow.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So like that's pretty sweet. And then Mike was saving these for when people came into the shop. I did not put them on his website and held the last one for me. I got a first run Lozado.
Cool.
You didn't buy one in the shop?
They were sold out, man. They sold out real quick because
they did. You're right.
I didn't have a chance when they went live on the site, and then some members of the team, when you had them, were like, "Okay, team members, I'll hold anything for you," but you got to pay no team discount or anything on that. And then like they were all just snatched up, so I wasn't able to get one, but it's all good. And then I went to Trifox and saw the Schicks, and I got a Star first run stamp Alien.
Very nice.
And this thing feels fun and better than I thought it was going to be in the hand. Very excited to try this.
So it's like a Sonic with a beveled rim, right? That's kind of how it is?
Yes, it is a 4201 as far as the flight numbers go. But this is the kind of the profile on it. Just showing for the audio listeners. I'm just showing the guys on the.
So it looks like the
video
bottom
recording.
of an AVR and the top of a Sonic.
Not as deep as an AVR, but
I thought someone said like a mid-range bottom with like the. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Okay, like a Mako bottom or something like that.
Yes,
like
I would say.
right?
I would say. I would say.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I would say probably close to a Mako. Yeah, as far as like that. And then I also picked this. Well, I picked this one up because he paid me for it. But I got this same Star Alien for Matt Yadis with the bronze on there for him.
Very nice. Very nice.
I think they're supposed to come in Nexus and like one other plastic.
Yeah, DX, Nexus, and Star. Yeah. So the new DX blend feels nice. Like there's like the new DX blend that's coming out feels great in multiple discs, but specifically the Alien. But I just knew that like I wanted Star specifically because the Star felt great, but also because like even though like the new DX plastic is great, like what are you really going to throw the Alien for? Tight wooded shots where you just need to get out of things, and you're going to hit some trees, and I wanted to not destroy that thing super quick. But the Nexus plastic feels really great. So it's cool that some of these other discs are not, or that Nexus is being used for things other than like Firefly. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. So the things that I bought will be / is, by the time you hear this, I will have a bite, which is officially Latitude 64. Or is that DD?
It's Latitude 64.
Latitude.
It's Lat 64. Okay. It's a bite. It's a hybrid catch. It's essentially a Sonic. Little heavier. No, it's essentially a Sonic.
I felt one in the shop. I felt one in somebody had one of the shops I went to had them, and I think that they're actually lighter than the Sonic.
They're lighter. Okay.
Yeah.
I know they're just a fastback. I mean, it's essentially just a fastback. So, but yeah, I got one of those. I got a glitch, and those two, we are doing like a glitch versus bite round. We'll do that tomorrow afternoon, and then that'll actually hopefully go up on the YouTube channel. And then I bought the trilogy disc, so it was a Warship, a Pure, and a Vandal, all Opto. All Orbit, and I thoroughly enjoyed all three of the discs. The Pure was just a fantastic point and shoot. As a putting putter, I'm just too used to the Judge, but it was a good putter. I made the putts I was supposed to make. And as a thrower, I really liked it. It actually held a little more stability than I assumed it would, because I had never really thrown, like really given the time to throw a Pure. But on the R course, we throw a lot of, I throw a lot of putters. It was a good putter. The Warship was it was like a more stable Comet. I mean, the feel is very similar, kind of has that beveled edge, that kind of weird hand feel. But I like it. It was comfortable, but it's much more stable, like high speed stable. I could throw it pretty hard. It would still stand up and go straight, but it would always finish. And the Vandal was a beautifully consistent thrower. Like guys in the shop were like, "Oh, when it dumps, it dumps." And I was like, I don't know, man. It felt super consistent and really good to me. I really enjoyed the discs. I didn't see the complaints that I heard from a few guys. Like I just didn't see it at all. I thought all three of the discs were great. They were consistent. The lines you put them on were the lines they held. And the Vandal is more stable than a standard Lucid Vandal. So I enjoyed him. I thought he was good, and I played pretty well. I think I played 1 under or even. I don't remember what I played with the trilogy at Bailey. So, but it was good. So I'll have all those, and all those are definitely throwers.
What was the new thing that was part of the trilogy challenge? Because historically, right, like there's like either
It was just the plastic.
a mold or like a new disc that hasn't been released in a plastic, or
just the plastic. It was the Orbit is all it was. They did those little rubber minis, and then they gave you a towel as well. But yeah, I think it was just a plastic, because the Warship has been, the Vandal and the Pure have all been used in trilogies before. So I think it was just a plastic.
Okay. Yeah. Because from what I know historically, like that's like, these are all used, like all these challenges are used for feedback for the company as far as like a new plastic blend or something. So I was curious more than anything. So
it was, the Vandal was a Ricky Wysocki Vandal.
Okay.
Which was weird. And then the Pure was the Kristen Tatar. I forgot who the
Warship
was. Matteo. Yeah, the Matteo was a Warship. So, I mean, they were all signature discs, which was kind of cool. But, but nice. I mean, I really liked them all. And those actually, I think we had 5 sets left or 6 sets left. So they'll be on the site probably tomorrow, I would assume, or the next day. Well, it'll be tomorrow if you're listening. Yeah, probably Tuesday. So those will be good. So we'll get our preview. I'm going to be a short show. I've said it. So it's going to be a short show. We're going to just talk Calvin or Gannon. We're going to talk DGLO and then European Championships. And then I think outside of that, they'll be going to Ben's random question, and we'll do some shop updates, and then we'll be off of here. So if we keep it under an hour, I will be very surprised, but there's a possibility today, boys. There's a possibility. So this is the one that can throw us off the rails. Calvin or Gannon, who is better? Who has been the better player this year?
Calvin.
Not Missy Gannon.
Yeah.
Gannon Burr.
Yeah.
So Heimborg or Gannon?
Well, JP said Calvin, and I'm also saying Calvin.
Okay, explain.
I think it's harder to be that consistent than it is to see. I'm going to put my foot in my mouth by saying this, but then it's harder to win because Calvin has found it ridiculously hard to win some of these. But you also have to be that good to be in the hunt for that many sustained events. So, like, that's my rationale. Yes, Gannon's obviously one of the best players in the world and has had a few more wins than Calvin has, but Calvin has just sustained the ability to be on coverage for every single round he's played this year. I mean, like, there's been very few times that we have seen him not on either the chase, a feature, or a lead card, which is saying something.
Okay. JP?
Yeah, same. Obviously, Gannon's got the 5 total wins this year compared to, I think Calvin's got 3, like 2, and then like
2 Silver Series, 1 Pro Tour.
Yeah, so as of right now, I think, well, Calvin finished 5th today. Well, we're, just after recording at DGLO. But before this, his average finish was like 4.3 or 4.9 or something like that. Like just off podium. Like that's ridiculous, to consider that. He's played a couple less tournaments than Gannon, but I think Gannon played like the Memorial and like a couple other A tiers or something like that Calvin wasn't at. Calvin has more money, not like that means anything, but I just think like what Ben said, like to be able to sustain a level of play and not have ebbs and flows. Like Calvin's lowest finish this year so far has been 16th. Gannon has finished 50th. He's finished 30th. He's like got a couple in the 20s. He's got some real ebbs and flows, but like when he plays well, he plays well. But Calvin just plays well pretty much no matter what. Like he always just puts himself in that conversation. And I mean, like with picks we've had, or like pretty much anybody else has had, people are just constantly picking him to place on the podium or win. And that's a conversation that he doesn't leave your mind. He doesn't leave your mouth, really. Like he's just always part of the conversations.
So obviously this is kind of loaded, but Statmando's head to head. Calvin is 9-6-1 against Gannon in 2023. Gannon has 4 wins. Calvin has 3 wins. Calvin has 5 seconds and 4 thirds to Gannon's 1 second and 1 third. Top 10 percentage, Gannon Burr, 68.75%. Calvin Heimberg, 93.75%. 2,961 strokes for Gannon Burr and 2,885 strokes. So somebody can do the quick math, but almost 100 strokes better. Sorry, not that close. 76. I just did it. So 76 strokes better than Gannon.
So when we talk player of the year points, or MVP, you think Calvin has a shoe in? There's no chance that Gannon's even close, or that Gannon will take it.
I think they're 1-2. I think that there will be people that there's a conglomerate of voters and people that purely pick wins, and I respect that. But I think also though, like it's not like Calvin has not won, right? Like it's not like he has just been on the podium without any wins. He's won events this year. So like we're not.
But he hasn't won since Jonesboro. That's a long time ago. April. But
yeah,
whatever.
He's saving the juice for Worlds.
But okay, so here's my question. Like I get it. Calvin is a phenomenal player. I don't give him any. There's nothing that says he's not. But would I put him? Let's just back it up 4 years or 5 years. I give him the Lazat He's there. He's always in contention. They're always saying his name, but he's just not finishing. Or who was it? Ricky in 19? Like, he was always there. He was always, or 19 was his, was it 18 or 19 that he had his tick thing? Whichever year wasn't his Lyme disease flare up. He was always there, but he just wasn't finishing. And they gave Macbeth the nod. And then we talked 2020, same thing. Macbeth got the nod. Why is this different? Or why do you feel that this might be perceived as being different?
Because we're in an era where every single event is stacked at the top. We're, as far as like, I think the field is just so much deeper now in terms of like all of the top 15 and the top 10 are ballers, and it's harder to, so now I think on the tour, crack a top 15. Like, I think like 5 years ago, 10 years ago for sure, right? Like, the thing that I'm going to use is like Paul Ulibarri for however long was just finishing in top 10s and finishing top 10s because he could show up and play very consistent and be in a top 10. Maybe he wasn't winning, but he getting in a top 10. Now, yes, he's a little bit older, but now Paul Ulibarri cracking a top 10 is a big deal because he's older.
He came in fourth last week.
Yes. And that's like, these are the things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So like for Calvin to sustain and be on the podium in a field that is so much deeper and so stacked now is so much harder than it was in 2019. 2019, 18-year-olds were not winning events. They were, but they weren't winning Pro Tour events. And the field is just so much deeper now that's why I'm giving Calvin the nod, because it's so much harder.
That doesn't exclude Gannon. That's not in present company is not excluded in that, right?
Yeah. But I think though, when we're making the argument though, that I think it's harder in this era of disc golf to finish that consistency, that I think that makes him the player of the year, because I think he's just had a better year.
Okay. What about Paige Pierce? Did she have a better year the year she tied and then the year she won than Katrina and Kristen?
Well,
or did she just have more wins?
Well, part of that was that
I'm just asking questions.
That's, well, we all can point to why that happened. Why that award was given out was because the PDGA's Player of the Year factors in any sanctioned event.
Yeah.
And Katrina plays C tiers. Like, she plays C tiers that are local to her in South Dakota. Like, she pops up at these small events in like January and February, and then like and break weeks. So that's why she won that.
Speaking of, did she finish dead last?
Oh, she had a terrible first round.
I think she still stayed down there in dead last. All right. Well, anyways,
for DGLO this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I was just curious who you thought, Calvin or Gannon. There was a quick conversation about it, and I was just like, that makes sense, because there could be arguments made for Gannon over Calvin. I think Calvin at this point is a more likely contender because of his average finish. But what if Gannon pulls off one more?
If Gannon pulls off one more, if he takes one more down and just has a very consistent finish, then I think the argument gets a little bit more. There's more arguments to be made. Yep.
Sure.
Like if he goes podium champion and podium for the rest of the days, yes.
Okay.
Because from here on out now for the men, it's silver, worlds, silver, playoff, USDGC, and then tour finale. So no slouch events is what I'm getting at.
Right. I think Brody brought it up or someone brought it up that why spread out these playoff events? why aren't the playoff events just back-to-back weekends? Like you have the playoffs and you have these tournaments in between. Then you have playoffs again. And then it's like, I get that you're building up to the finale, but just have them back-to-back weekends. So it's not as confusing.
So,
like, oh, we're doing
so
this
the counter argument to that as to why that I read that somebody said that somebody that works for the Pro Tour is because there's cuts on there. You need to make ample time to,
I suppose
to because you're not doing them. Because one of the playoffs is DGLO and then the other event is Maple Hill. Like you need to have adequate time to figure out like if you made the cut or you didn't make the cut, like where you stand to get in and have your travel arrangements and your lodging and everything else.
How about if you suck, it doesn't matter.
Because you're not able to
go on.
Because you're not able to register for the event until you know if you've made the cut.
Well, but as a playoff event, only certain people can register anyways, right? So
yeah, so
it's automatically boosted.
Well, it's top 50 for Maple Hill, so these folks, if you weren't securely safe, the Pro Tour was not allowing you to be registered for that event.
Oh. Do you think that Miami Dolphins ever made that argument, or like the Packers ever made that argument? Like, but what if we don't make it? What if we can't make these arrangements? So I have this sneaking suspicion from the outside looking in that it is the fact that the PDGA is still trying to control certain events at the same time as the Pro Tour is basically running professional disc golf. But the PDGA and Innova still have a stranglehold on certain events, and they won't let them go.
Just call a spade a spade. Don't say certain events. Just say the event.
Well, Worlds and USDGC. Like, those two things, I mean, they're becoming less relevant. I think USDGC is still up there. Worlds, I think, is becoming less relevant because I think the championship is starting to become a little more legitimate. Mm-hmm. So I think that's probably what it is. It's just Worlds is being scheduled at these times that are interrupting, and USDGC, they will not let go of their time slot, and they won't lose control of it. They don't want to lose control of it, which I don't blame them. I mean, it's their event, so why not?
You know what I think would make Worlds super interesting? Keep it 5
Full
rounds.
Contact.
Well, that too, but keep it 5 rounds, but cut every day.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. I like that idea. Like cut the bottom 20% of the field every day.
Yeah. I think it would make it super entertaining.
Just for like final card on the last day. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I would say the final day should be top 20 for both.
I think
top 15.
I think final day should only be as much as cameras as we have.
Okay.
To cover.
I think that the old Final 9 is lame, and I don't want like the vibe of Final 9 of just 4 people to come back, because I want still the drama of a chase card or somebody coming up and slamming it and taking it.
I like that idea.
But I think Worlds needs to have what we saw. Well, this might be a good pivot into DGLO, but I think we need to have true for Worlds, true moving days where pins are moving. And a cut every single day would be great, because like hypothetically, what if like I'm just throwing a name out there, like a Joel Freeman, what if like he just
did that hurt?
Yeah, it did.
That got real joy out of Joel Freeman losing his cash streak, though, I bet.
Dude, I was grinning from ear to ear. No, but maybe not a Joel Freeman, but pick out somebody that's, consistent. I'm just going to put like hypothetically like an Isaac Robinson. So Isaac Robinson's a major winner now, like somebody that we expect to show up and be consistent. And like in a hypothetical world, what if he was just like fighting and missed the cut on day one? Like how, as a viewer, how great would that be? Not for Isaac Robinson, of course, but for us to see like the drama of like a past world champion or a past major not make it to the weekend or not make it out of day one. I would love it. I'm a reality TV junkie, and that would be the ultimate reality TV for disc golf.
But they couldn't just say, "Oh, he didn't make it." Like, you got to have cameras on that guy.
Yes.
Like, we want to see Brody Smith cry. You know what I mean? Like that he didn't make it. That, like, build up that much drama.
Okay, so then here's how it works. Turn off the UDisc live. The only thing that's counting is we just go paper and we turn off PDGA live. So then everybody has to stand, and then there's a big leaderboard that they like will like only. What if they only update and they put the caveat that that there's like no live broadcast on the site. So like you have to like then they just put up a screen and they're like, here's where it's at. You guys are cut. Like
Right.
Hunger
like
Games style.
I like the Hunger Games. Give the 3 fingers.
Could you?
How was it like that?
Yeah. Could you imagine though, like having like, you know, Brody standing next to somebody and Brody like it just flashes and Brody's like, I made the cut, and then he has to stand next to some guy that's like, that sucks for you, dude. You should have played better.
Exactly. Have a chance to talk crud. Oh, I love that. Oh, that see, these are the things that need to happen.
All right, PDGA, let me be the executive producer of Worlds. We're gonna have ratings through to the moon.
Well, what we need to do is bring in over some of those Korean show producers that are like killing it on Netflix. Like what's that one? The Squid Games.
Squid Games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bring them over and have them run the Pro Tour for 1 year. I think it'd be fantastic. I mean, aside from the shooting people, I think it'd be pretty cool. So, all right. So Calvin is obviously the better player. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. Well, Bennett brought up, was just saying reality TV. Isn't season 2 of Tour or whatever is it on tour starting soon?
So
I heard something about
do
that.
they have a season 2?
So when I talked to Corey Merle, who is he's the DGN, like, I don't want to call it special projects, but it's essentially non-scripted or non-coverage projects. So he was the executive producer, director of Tour Life last year. And I talked to him for about a half hour. Not only did I talk to him in Vegas, but I also talked to him at the Preserve. And they're not doing it in the same way that it was the season 1. They're releasing like features on different players, like 20-minute features. So like the one that was recently coming out that he was doing was Val Mondahano. So
okay, I heard something about Val's episode with Val. Yeah,
so that is essentially replacing On Tour, which is
we need drama. We need drama in disc golf, and we need to get like Nico LaCastro and all these guys with cameras on them 24/7.
Do you guys remember the Ultimate Fighter?
Joel Freeman would be a good one too. Yes.
We need to do. We need to do like in January, like in Arizona. We get the people that missed their tour card. No, that would be great too. But we get them in Arizona. Get them in Arizona in January for like just like 3 weeks, and we put them all in a house, and we do Ultimate Fighter style, where then they're playing in like events throughout the week, and like they're either it's all stroke play or it's like match play or a combination of something, and then like 3 guys are getting like a tour card out of like 15.
I like that idea. I love that idea. And the 3 cards that they're getting are the guys that got relegated from the Pro Tour.
That's a fun idea.
Mm-hmm.
Or just chuck discs at each other and see who lasts. Like just
play guts.
Just pelt each other and see how long you can take it.
Right. So we're going like a little bit of Ultimate Fighter, a little Jackass.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
But in all seriousness, no, I do love my idea that I just stole from.
I like the Ultimate Fighter one.
That would be sell a sponsor on it and just film it and get an Airbnb. It's like a couple of courses in Arizona and just have like 6 dudes living there and 3 cards. 3 people are getting tour cards, and if you were the last, like it just be like the last 6 that were below that cut that didn't qualify.
Yeah. But who's the live-in announcer? Who's the guy that comes in and creates drama?
Paul Ulibarri.
Oh, Drew Gibson.
No,
he's the one that's going to create the issues.
No, because Drew Gibson won't sell sponsorships to the outside world.
Oh, no. I'm talking the guy that, like, the announcer that comes in and plays.
Yeah.
Oh, you think they're not going to do it because of Drew?
No, if they're trying to sell sponsorship to sell this to make this work to pay for the Airbnb,
Drew's
you
not the
can't
face.
have these companies digging up Drew's tweets.
I think you just move Luke Humphreys over from like GK Pro Skins over to this, and he's just like, "Welcome to this. Let's get it started." Like every week, you just like introduce like 4 guys, and
No,
I
no.
know this is very unpopular, but I don't like Luke Humphrey. Like,
Ben Askren.
oh
Yes, that's perfect.
ooh,
Okay, I like that. Or Bert Kreischer. I mean, they're pretty good
No,
too. Like
Bert's-
you got to take
Bert's
these
gonna-
shots, and then we're going to.
Bert's not gonna. Bert would make it too funny. We need Ben Askren to up the intensity of like you are fighting for your financial lives right now because you need to get a tour card, and he would just be intense about it.
See, I think that's a great idea. I love that idea. You should pitch it, Ben.
All right, we need
or
to hunt
Ben
down
could just do it at Funky Farms.
There you go. Yeah.
Just
So
kind of hide.
Ben pitches it to Ben, who pitches it to Terry, who then Terry reaches out to the people. We got that. It's perfect. Let's do it. By let's, I mean you.
We've got a YouTube channel. Let's just swindle. We got to swindle the Disc Golf Pro Tour to give up to provide 3 extra tour cards, and then we'll reach out to everybody. We'll just play Wildberry every day, and then they can just stay at Julie's.
I'm with it. I'm for it. I got the house. We'll have them stay in the house.
I'd love it too if like you had this group of guys who like had the idea that they were like fighting each other, and then like randomly one week they're like, "Oh, here's the twist. We like bring in this guy who like like they just keep throwing people in and like it's an extra sacrifice or something." They're like, "What the heck is this guy doing here? He didn't earn a spot." Like,
yeah, or like bring in like okay, and today one of you guys have to beat Calvin.
yeah,
Go home. Oh, see, all right, well, perfect. PDGA, I mean, or Disc Golf Pro Tour, just you know how to contact us, DoorDisc.com. I'll put you in contact with Ben. All right, with that being said, we all know that Calvin is the better player, but if Gannon wins another one, there's a good chance that he might be a shoe-in for that. So with that being said, let's talk about DGLO. Calvin did not finish amazing, but he had some really great shots that I saw some highlights of. And but ultimately, Simon took it down. And I can't remember if Simon was my number 1 pick, but I know it was better than Bobby's pick, so that's all that matters. So, and on the FPO side, Ohned Scoggins took it down and basically wire to wire. I don't know if she ever lost, and I publicly said that I don't think Ohned has a chance. Sadly.
Yeah, and
No, I put her in second.
Ohned drank a beer out of her trophy in your face.
Did she really?
Yeah, you can find it online. Ohned was doing her like Tournament Central interview, drinking what looked to be a hazy IPA out of her trophy.
Very nice. It wasn't a Badger State, was it?
It was not. I don't know. We don't distribute in Michigan, but.
Have you started putting in the plug for disc golf and trying to sponsor something real big? Like Ledgestone, just reach out to Ledgestone and be like, "Hey, Badger State, old sponsor."
Haven't gotten that far yet, but I learned that there is a disc golf tournament that happens every year between the breweries in Wisconsin at Silver, and I am now been added to the team. It's doubles.
Very nice. Cool. Tell them that we carry. Oh, we don't carry any other beer, so
not yet.
I was gonna say not yet. Well, hey, if I carry one, can I be voted in on the team?
Potentially. But anyway.
All right. So congratulations to Ohned. Congratulations to Simon.
First Elite Series win for Ohned, which is awesome.
Did you
That's
guys
such a good personality to have it too?
Did you guys see Simon on hole 16?
Yes, I wanted to talk about that.
Let's hear it.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, so he lines up his shot on hole 16. You can see him like he's going to throw up over the trees, and he throws, and Dawson, was it Nate Sexton, I think, on the call?
Yes.
And Nate Dawson's like, what is he doing? I can't believe what the heck was he thinking? Blah 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 blah. And obviously he's playing up. He throws it up over, and it lands just out of bounds to the left of hole 16's basket. And they like are flabbergasted. And then all of a sudden Doss is like, oh yeah, I think if you play it this way, he's playing for par. That's what he's doing. He's just trying to. He's throwing it up. And so he basically took his meter in and had like what, an 18-foot
Not
shot.
not
so.
even.
Not even.
Yeah.
And everybody else is scrambling on that hole to even get.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
The highest disc golf IQ play I've seen in a long time. Man has a 3-shot lead on 16.
Yep.
And he's
purposely throws it OB.
Purposely throws it
Yep.
OB to take the par to maintain either a 2 or a 3 shot. So that way he knows that if the people behind him birdie it, if they get there, then he has a 2-shot lead, and at worst he's going to a playoff.
Right. That's smart.
Hole 16 was one of the holes that was like moving out all like one of the moving day locations, right? Didn't we say that in like the group text or whatever?
I believe it was. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But yeah, great showing there. So, and the only thing, I'm European Championship happened today, and Kristen Tatar won it by going 8 over and still winning it by 3 strokes on the day. That's how. So she was that far ahead. I didn't keep up on it. I don't know, but all I know is that she had a +8 and still won the tournament by 3 strokes. So amazing. She's just dominant force, and I believe she actually hurt herself again. So we will see if Worlds is still a thing for her.
Kind of in front of her home crowd too, right? It was in Estonia.
Yep.
So I mean, like, I think the final hole is in front of this like big band shell or something like. Looks super cool. Like I think that there's a highlight of it, like the last hole. I was just like,
yeah,
pretty cool to see the crowd. Yeah.
Yeah, some of the shots, like the elevated tee pads and stuff that they were throwing off of, I mean, they're fantastic. I mean, it's a beautiful course. I'm not familiar with the course at all. I don't know if I've ever seen it before.
I don't know if I have either. I know I've seen like a couple people like play, and I've just seen that band shell like from like clips or something, but don't know much about the course at all.
Yeah. So, all right, Ben, here is your chance to give us your random question.
Okay. I just got to get over to my sheet. And all right. My question is, what is your weirdest guilty pleasure?
Weirdest guilty pleasure. So like scratching my head. Does that count?
And then, no, I was thinking like, what's a weird, like along the lines of like strangest, like, you know, food that combination that you strangely like, or like, like music you listen to that might be slightly embarrassing, or just, you know, something along those lines.
Would anime for like a 40-year-old man be slightly embarrassing? I mean,
if that's what you want to go with, for sure, that can be.
I'll think. You got one, JP?
I guess there's like some kids Nickelodeon shows that I like watching with the kids sometimes. Like they watch this show called was it Harvey Danger or Henry Danger, something like that. And you know, it's like stupid comedy for preteens and like kids that are younger, but it's funny sometimes. And like Alyssa and I will sit there and just laugh because it's absolutely dumb, but funny at the same time. Like, I don't know. There's stuff like that. Or what's another one? The kids watch this show called Bunked, or Dempsey watches all these random YouTube guys like talking about Fortnite and all these other weird video games, and I'll sit there and watch them, and sometimes I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting, but I'm like, this is rotting my brain. Why am I doing this? So I'm just getting sucked into like some of the kids stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, and then you just get drawn into it. Like it's just it happens.
So I have two. One is on the YouTube line. It's a gentleman named Gray Still Plays. So it's an old dude that still plays, and he only plays GTA. But it's like he does, like, people create boards for him, and then he has to like finish these boards or challenges or whatever. So
Okay.
it's not just playing GTA. It's like all these things. Really love that guy. I don't know what it is about him. Like I don't know what he looks like. Nothing like that. He just like voices over the playing, the gameplay. And his mind is exactly what I would say if I did things. And it's just so fun to watch. And my son likes it too. So it's fun to like just sit there and go like, hey, there's a new Gray Still Plays on. And then he's like, great. And he comes, runs over and jumps on the couch. And it's really more like I like watching it and he likes watching it. So it's that guilty pleasure. And the other one is I play Minecraft. So, and that's kind of one of those like goofy things. I only do it every couple weeks or anything, but I play Minecraft. It was one of those things I started playing to like play with my kids, but it's kind of my guilty pleasure now. Sometimes I like go up and I open up my own world and play in it. And I have like this world that I built, and I have like a whole like herd of dogs. I have like 30 dogs. Yeah, it's pretty fun. So anyways, that's that. So those are my two.
Mine is just like, if you just scroll through like my Spotify, like most recently played, like I have just so many like insane, like that is all over the place. Like right now I'm on like a female pop power trip right now. So like, and it's like ladies of the aughts is like a playlist I found. Pop ladies of the aughts.
Okay.
So like the Veronicas is big on there. Ariana Grande, Haley Steinfeld, like it's a weird playlist, but it's riding with it. Yeah, pop ladies of the aughts.
So what's the kids show, JP, that Ariana Grande started?
Oh, I got you. Victorious.
She was in two. She was in two.
Well, she was in one other one too.
And Sam and Cat.
Sam and Cat. Yep. Yeah.
Dude, I love Ariana
like
Grande. I have an Ariana Grande t-shirt. I love Ariana Grande.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
Funny.
She's super entertaining in those shows. Like, I mean, she's just super entertaining in them.
The one thing I didn't understand in Sam and Cat, I think that's what she talked with a weird accent. She's like, oh, da 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 da. Like I never
like she was real flighty, almost.
Yes. And then on Victorious, she kind of played the same character. I think they brought it over, but she was a little more with it.
Are you sure she's just not that way?
I don't know.
Ben,
could be.
You sound like an Ariana Grande fan. Is she kind of flighty?
The Sam and Cat is a spinoff of Victorious, so she played the same character.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I don't know which one I watched with my daughter, but she
really
loved it.
And then Maisie's watching iCarly a lot now too. And then what's her name? Jeanette McCurdy, who was on Sam and Cat, is on iCarly with what's her name from School of Rock?
Miranda Cosgrove.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, that's right.
You guys are blowing my mind right now.
Well, so like I think it's important to mention that like when those shows were in their original runs, like I fit that demographic. Like I was that age when those things
you
were
the
like
young teen girl.
I was the young teen girl. I was the young teen girl in like 2009. So yeah.
Okay.
When those shows were in their original run. But also
I guess I do forget about that. I forget the age difference between us.
Yeah.
I watched that with my kids. Like I watched that
as a child. My degree is also in media studies, so just the sheer amount of television and film I have consumed for school is insane. I took I did an independent study on the rise of reality TV, specifically during the 2007 writer strike. So if you want to talk about MTV programming, between reality MTV programming between the years 2000 and 2014, I could talk to you for hours.
I want to talk to you then about Rob Dyrdek making a show based strictly on YouTube videos. And
Of ridiculousness?
Yes.
Yeah.
That show is crazy.
Well, and the fact that he dominated between Rob and Big
And
then
Fantasy
Fantasy
Factory.
Factory. Oh,
Yeah.
dude is brilliant. He's
actually got a really good TikTok, or like he's got a podcast as well, where he just sits and talks about how he was able to come up with all that stuff and like his work schedule and like everything he comes up with. He's a really interesting dude.
I was listening to his podcast when he was explaining what the royalties look like for Robin Big and Ridiculousness, and the airtime that Ridiculousness gets on MTV is something like 60% of their programming.
It is about 17 hours a day.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Ridiculous, no pun intended. Ridiculousness is on between 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. and then it transitions into other programming that they have. But it is, yeah.
That's incredible.
Rob Dyrdek
and they're still making new episodes.
Rob only shoots 3 weeks a year, and they just crank out episodes for 3 weeks a year and they can do a 20-minute episode very quickly. Mm-hmm. And it is, they can film 9 episodes a day. Rob Dyrdek is also one of the smartest business people ever, because he is forever controlled. He's always controlled his own branding and identity. And what he did from the ground floor up when he was with Rob and Big is that he founded Super Jacket Productions, and that is so he owns the production company that produces all of his shows and then sells them. Genius.
It's so brilliant. And then he became controlling owner of DC also, isn't he? DC Shoes.
I'm not sure if he's still in with them, but for a long time he was in with DC Shoes.
And Alien Workshop as well, I think.
Alien, yep. Yeah. Jeez. Well, anyways, that's enough fanboying about him.
Yeah. So, Ben, one question.
Oh,
Eras tour, would you be on board, or is that up your alley?
I am not a big Swiftie, but I can respect the fact that she crossed $2 billion in ticket sales.
Yeah,
for the Eras tour.
Didn't she get a huge blowback from that, about how expensive her tickets are or something like that?
Well,
a lot of people couldn't get in.
Yeah, she's also
because people buy them and then scalp them, right?
Yeah, this is also a Supreme Court issue as well that is making waves through Congress as well, about Ticketstar and Live Nation being the same.
Oh, okay. I thought it was about Swiftie. I was like, what?
Well, the demand is there, so the resale value, no matter what, was going to be high. But yeah.
Jeez. All right. Well, we found out about more of our guilty pleasures. So with that being said, shop updates. We got some pizza chalk bags coming in. So they're pizza shaped chalk bags. They were up on DD, and I thought they were the coolest things in the world. They're shaped like a slice of pizza.
Nice.
So we picked some of those up, and then we got some more minis coming from Zing. We have the Trilogy Challenge discs that are there, and then we also have some. We have some bags, a couple discs. I don't remember what it is, but we got some more stuff, and it'll be populating over this coming week and then next week. And then we should have the MD1s coming in here pretty soon. We did order all of the Lazadal, Halloween Lazadal, and Craves and Nomads. And so we got all those. And we actually got quite a few of the Lazadal. So we'll be seeing those as soon as they come in. But like I said, the MD1s, the Horizon MD1s, the special order ones should be coming in pretty soon. They're supposed to be at the end of this month. So it's already the 20th. So we should be seeing them probably within the next couple of weeks. So with that being said, anything else to add? Any inspirational messages?
Shane, are you going to get, I was going to ask, are you getting the Casey White discs?
This is hard. I love Casey White and I really want to bring him in, but Team Stamp stuff just doesn't sell.
Yeah.
What if you reach out to him and have him autograph it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would rather tell everybody to just reach out to Casey and buy directly from him. So I'm debating because I want to support Casey, so I want to bring him in.
Yeah.
But I also just don't want a bunch of discs sitting on a shelf. So I'd rather get the stuff that moves.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, maybe Casey moves them. But I'm glad it's his first signature disc. So yes, I'm going to get some. I'm going to bring some in because I want to support him. So with that being said, anything inspirational or monumental to leave us on?
No. I got nothing.
No. Just because the first wipe makes you feel clean, always wipe a second time.
All right.
Okay. Ben, you like that?
I've come to expect nothing less. Bobby left you guys, well, in my absence, with something real nice and real inspirational. And Shane, as always, rounding it out with 12-year-old humor.
Oh, well, you don't want to itch. I'm just making sure that you're not walking through the day itchy, because it's really awkward when people see you digging in your butt.
Yeah. In the words of Forrest Gump, I gotta pee.
Gotta pay. All right. Peace out. Deuces and keep it subpar.